A woman hit a man with a plank because she wasn't getting enough attention. A man sold a bomb to an undercover cop. Another man pretended to be Irish while committing fraud. A man stuffed a gun into a raw chicken and tried to sneak it on a plane. And a man, sick of living in Florida, stole a boat to go away. All of these stories are from the state of Florida, my friends, because it's Friday and it's Weird AF News. And on Fridays, we only do weird news from Florida. We call it Florida Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Friday. Let's get right to it, guys. A Florida woman hit a man with a plank because she wasn't getting enough attention. A Largo, Florida woman was arrested after allegedly hitting a man with a plank, also known as a very long board. I don't know where she got this plank. Sounds like they were doing some pirate cosplay, and it just went wrong. Aren't I supposed to walk on this plank? Yeah, you better please me first, or I'll whack you with the plank, then make you walk the plank. The police say that Florida woman Demi Lynn Vergara, age 31, was, quote, extremely upset because she was not getting enough attention. In retaliation, Demi Lynn allegedly swung a 2x4 with an exposed nail. Wow. There was a nail sticking out of it? That's dangerous. She swung it at an unidentified man's head, according to the report. That's not a place where you want a nail-encrusted 2x4 to land on your skull. Police say the man suffered an abrasion from the plank to his head. Whew, good for him. It was just an abrasion. It could have been worse than that. Now, it says here, according to the arrest affidavit, the attack was actually witnessed by another police officer. What? There was a police officer there and you still swung a 2x4 at the man's head? She doesn't care, man. She's like, you shut up and cuddle me. You cuddle me right now. After being read her rights, the Florida woman, Demi Lynn, admitted to swinging the 2x4 plank, but denied hitting the man. Details. She was booked in the Pinellas County Jail. You know the one in Pinellas County. There's so many jails in Pinellas County. Who knows which one it could be? She's got some aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Records show she has multiple battery convictions from previous arrests and was on probation for battery at the time of this incident. She's just swinging at people. You got to keep this lady away from Home Depot for sure. When I first read this title, I thought to myself, you know, maybe this is the Florida version of planking. Yeah, it's not exactly a workout maneuver. You swing a board at your friend's head. A Florida man was arrested for selling a bomb to an undercover cop. Federal charges were filed against our Florida man, star of the story. His name is James John Hall. That's a perfect Florida man name. James John Hall, 34 years old. The authorities say he sold a pipe bomb that he made at home to an undercover police officer for $800. Why did this cop want a pipe bomb? Seems like a strange purchase. Well, you know, the police are very underfunded these days. They have to get their equipment elsewhere. Homemade from a Florida man. Now, in this particular case, they say the Tampa police detectives were working alongside an FBI task force trying to nab this guy, Hall, the Florida man, who is from Zephyrhills. It looks like syphilis. I thought it said Syphilis, Florida. Is there a city in Florida called Syphilis? I feel like there should be. It's Zephyrhills. And there was a confidential informant involved who told the detectives that the Florida man had a homemade pipe bomb that could be purchased for $800. He was just walking around the hood asking, anyone want a pipe bomb? I got a pipe bomb for sale. Pipe bombs, step right up, get your pipe bombs. Pipe bombs I'll give you a midterm election special for the pipe bomb. Get your pipe bombs. $800, by the way, seems like a lot to pay for a homemade pipe bomb. When I was a kid, my neighbor Sean made one for like $30. I remember this. But now they're going for $800. It seems, man, inflation is affecting everything. This pipe bomb's about as much as the produce these days. What do I get my family? A pineapple or a pipe bomb? It's tough going this week. Got to make hard decisions in life. Now, the informant in this story told the FBI that when they met James John Hall, the Florida man, it was to buy marijuana, which they did. And that's when The Florida man showed a picture of this pipe bomb explosive that was made at home. It was 3 to 4 plastic jars taped together and painted with camouflage. The going price was $800. It seems like a very strange leap for a drug dealer to sell some marijuana and then follow that up with, hey, you want any homemade bombs in addition to this marijuana? You know, because people that smoke weed just love bombs. You know, they go hand in hand, right? So after getting this information, the sheriff's detective met with Florida man James John Hall to buy that pipe bomb and a Glock 17 pistol that he offered for sale while in communication with the informant. In a response to a question on future purchases, the Florida man said, I got enough to build 6 more now. You want 6 pipe bombs? I can build them. I build them at home. You want 6? How many do you want? A baker's dozen pipe bombs? I got you. After the purchase and examination of the device, the authorities revealed that it was a metal pipe sealed at both ends and loaded with explosive powder. It was taped to what might have been a mixture of explosive materials as well. Hall was in possession of the device illegally since the ATF discovered no records for him in the National Firearm Registration record. Oh, he didn't register his homemade pipe bombs? Pfft, what's wrong with him? You know, everybody knows you got to register your pipe bombs with the local National Firearm Registration Record Department. He's charged with a count of unlawfully constructing a destructive device, also possessing an unregistered destructive device and distributing explosive materials without a license. You know, you got to get a license if you want to distribute explosive materials, Florida man. You should know better. Come on now. A Florida man committed fraud while pretending to be Irish. This really gives the Irish a bad name. Come on now. A Florida man has been arrested after committing many fraudulent transactions. Many fraudulent transactions. All while pretending to be an Irish national. Why? Let's find out. The Department of Law Enforcement became aware of a suspicious man using the pseudonym Declan Quinn. He was committing fraud in the state of Florida, so they investigated what they thought was fraud. They found that Quinn had won the position of HOA Board of Directors president at his Washington County neighborhood. Wow, he used a total fake identity and was elected to a political position in this Florida county. That's outrageous. How easy is it to get on the board of directors in Florida? Boy. He used his standing in his community as well to obtain a $17,000 loan fraudulently. The fake name was even used to sign a notarized promissory note stating that he would repay the loan, which of course he failed to do so. Upon further investigation, it turned out Declan Quinn was actually 55-year-old Darrell Gary Belkey, who was later revealed to be a convicted felon out of Wisconsin. Belkey posed as an Irish immigrant to all of his neighbors in the community while participating in many business deals. He also claimed to be a member of the Irish Army. He also dressed up as a leprechaun whenever he left his house, which further ingratiated him to the community. And he talked like a leprechaun as well. Oh, yes, maybe you want to give me your money. Oh, don't worry, I'll return it. I know how to find the pot of gold. It was also revealed that Belkey used a fictitious Irish passport as his identification while pawning over $1,000 worth of items at a store in Bay County. He was originally arrested by agents for his fraudulent activity in Washington County, where he faces charges of uttering a forged note, obtaining a promissory note by false representation, and fraud, which are all third-degree felonies. Oh, poor Lucky. Not so lucky in this instance, eh? He also faces charges in another county for forgery and counts of false verification under the Florida Pawnbroker Act. This guy's just running all around pretending to be an Irishman. This is such a strange approach to crimes. Perhaps he started out as a Russian first and was not received so well. You know, the Russians are sort of out of favor right now. I'm not getting anywhere with this accent. Oh, what about now? Everyone seems to love me. Oh, yes, come over and get my Lucky Charms. What I mean really is to elect me to local government and put me in your will. Oh, I'm a real Irishman. You can trust me. A Florida man stuffed a gun inside a raw chicken and tried to bring it on a plane. This is a real title. Many of you sent me this story, and I'm grateful. It's too wonderful to pass up, right? On Monday, officers with the Transportation Security Administration said that they caught an individual trying to conceal a gun inside a raw chicken and bring it on the plane in their carry-on luggage. This person had a raw chicken, gun inside the chicken. I'm trying to paint the picture for you. I'm wondering what excuse he had when he was caught. And said, hey, oh no, officers, this is my, my emotional support raw chicken. I need it for flights, man. It's my emotional support raw chicken. Come on, man. These flights make me emotional. Of course, our genius Florida man's plan was foiled when he was caught by the TSA at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. The X-ray machine, of course, because they catch guns. When you put guns through such machines, it usually comes up. I just want to make everybody aware that the skin of a raw chicken does not block X-rays, which obviously our Florida man thought would. All right, let's find out what happened afterward, because obviously the plot chickens. The officers were working around the clock to bust this guy. Get it? All right. He tried to bring a gun that was cocked onto the plane. Hey, come on with the puns. What kind of gun was this? A Cock 9? Whoa! I'm on fire right now. I shouldn't stop. Now, many of you probably saw the photo that was posted. The TSA have an official Instagram account where they post such jokes, apparently. There were photos of the uncooked bird being examined in the airport security screening area, and photos of the gun once it was removed. The caption was leaning heavily into Thanksgiving-themed puns, as you can imagine. Someone wrote, "There's a personal foul here. Ha ha, hey." I think my puns are better. Now, the TSA made a statement as well, along with the photos, to just keep everybody up to date with their policies, letting you know that you can't bring a firearm onto the airplane in this manner. You can't bring a gun onto the plane stuffed in a raw chicken or a lobster, for that matter. You can't put it inside a casserole, I believe, as well. Don't think you can sneak a little 22 inside a burrito. I don't think that's going to get through either. Here's the quote. "We hate to break it to you guys, but stuffing a firearm in your holiday bird for travel is just a waste of time." That's pretty good. This idea wasn't even half-baked. It was raw, greasy, and obviously unsupervised. The only roast happening here is this poor packing choice. Whether you like it or not, there are rules for traveling with guns and ammunition. Wow, they're very funny, the TSA, huh? They also want you to know that you can bring food on. In fact, cuisine for a full Thanksgiving menu can be brought onto the plane, including fresh meat and seafood, but it's got to be in your carry-on luggage, and you have to abide by the federal packing guidelines, which are available on the TSA website. Please pack them tightly. I don't want to be on a plane smelling raw meat, please. That happens sometimes. The smell of awful food just wafting through the cabin. I've experienced that. They also say people looking to travel with some guns and some ammunition, as many Florida people do, are required to pack unloaded weapons in locked, hard-sided containers in their checked bags. Okay, you can't bring it on a carry-on. Certainly can't bring it inside some fresh fowl. And you must declare these items at the airport ticket counter when you arrive for your flight. So just to reiterate, because many of you in Florida will be traveling during the holidays, you can't bring your gun inside a raw chicken onto the plane. I know a lot of you might be confused by that because, from my understanding, chickens are permitted to open carry in the state of Florida, but not on the plane. This is among the many bizarre fines by TSA officers at airports across the United States recently. A chainsaw was flagged in New Orleans, and something the agency referred to as a meth burrito was also confiscated at an airport in Houston. A Florida man, tired of living in Florida, stole a boat to go back to Cuba. A 30-year-old Miami man was jailed in the Florida Keys after the police say his plan to steal a commercial fishing boat in order to head back to Cuba hit a very serious snag on Monday. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, a man reported that his 40-foot fishing boat was stolen that very morning and claimed that one of his former employees, Christian Torres Perez, had recently quit and, quote, had been talking about returning to Cuba because he disliked living in Florida so much. That's how bad Florida is, that people are like, I'm going back to Cuba, man. I'm going back to a place that has no running water or electricity. Screw this. All right, let's break down what happened On Monday, hours after reporting the boat stolen, the Coast Guard contacted the owner and told him that the boat's emergency beacon had been activated 50 miles south of Key West. According to the office of the sheriff, Coast Guard crews spotted the boat broken down and stranded in the water. Torres Perez was waving his arms for help. Help me! I gotta get out of here, man. Can you rent me a kayak? I'm almost there. They used a tanker to pick up Torres Perez, and he was taken to Key West. His dreams were shattered to get out of there. I think we need a GoFundMe for this poor man to get the hell out of Florida. We should have a GoFundMe for everybody wanting to get out of Florida, especially the children, man. Happy Friday, my friends. I hope you're enjoying the weekend, or you're about to, or you already did. Thanks for sending me Florida Friday stories, everybody who did. You can always send me stuff to funnyjones@gmail.com or drop it in my Instagram @funnyjones as well. I got some calls from the angry Floridaman. Finally, he is alive, and I'll publish those after this outro if you want to stick around for that. I also got a nice review from Chris on Amazon. Chris gave me 5 stars, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Chris. The title is, Listen, you need this podcast every day. Trust me. Do you trust Chris? He also wrote some very nice things about the podcast. And me. I'm very pleased. He wrote, man, you are such a humble, down-to-earth guy. It's awesome. And the energy you put into the show is amazing. I was fortunate enough to see your podcast pop up on one of my alarms to wake me up in the morning about 9 months ago. And since then, I have been hearing your show every single day. And then in parentheses, he wrote, Sundays I go back and listen to the ones on your YouTube channel that I really liked that week as well. Thank you for all the stuff you put out there. And in all caps, good luck with your life, man. I love it. Good luck with your life, man. Chris, good luck with your life, man. And thank you for that review. That's super sweet of you to do that, and I'm very appreciative. I just really get so pleased when listeners write me a nice review and express themselves and how much they appreciate the show and how much they get out of it for their life. And I'm very, very grateful to have this as part of my life as well. So thanks so much. If you guys would like to write me a review like my buddy Chris just did, you can do it on Amazon or Apple Podcasts, and there's some other places, I'm sure. If you leave me a review in a place I probably won't get it, do a screenshot and send it to me so I can read it and give you some credit and give you some love, really, which is what I like to do. If you give me love, I give you love, man. You give me love, I give you love. You know, we give each other love, man. It's all about the love, bro. Another way you can support the show is to join the Patreon. The Patreon's great, man. You buy me a cup of coffee a month, and then you get access to extra weird content from me personally, content that I create, and weird content that I come across that isn't suitable for the podcast. So maybe it's a little too dirty. Maybe it's got a lot of swear words in it or something. Or just maybe it's a visual story, it's a video or something. I can't really cover that stuff on the podcast, which, as you know, is an audio format. So there's extra stuff on there, man, is what I'm saying. All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get down to the nitty gritty with what's in the Patreon. So maybe you want to check that out. You can join the Patreon by going to patreon.com/weirdafnews. Pretty simple. Or go to weirdafnews.com, click on the Patreon banner, or download the Patreon app and do a search for Weird AF News and then join that way. I'd appreciate any support you give me. If not, just tell a friend, man. Tell a friend about Weird AF News. I'd appreciate that so very much. Or just do nothing. Just listen to the show and get some joy out of it for your life, man. That makes me feel good, too. Have a great weekend.
Yay! Hey, this here's the Angry Floridaman, and I understand that some of you folks out there thought I got lost out there on my stepdaddy's pontoon boat during the hurricane. Well, that may be here and that may be there. I don't even know where. But anyway, man, that's not the point. The point is that I'm back. I'm back, and I've paid my phone bill, and I can have the ability to call into Mr. Jonesy. Sometimes you fall on hard. I don't know, man. I'm just a lazy bastard. I ain't called in a while. But anyway, the point I'm making is that on the last episode, I heard it was something about some apparition type prostitutes. Now, if you have a apparition type prostitute, I don't believe that's cheating. You know, in Florida, if you can't see it, it ain't real. You know what I mean? So if it's just if it's just a ghost with the most, baby, you just yell Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's good to be back, and tell your friends. In that same episode that I just got cut off when I was trying to talk about there was also a lady taking people's taking people's tootsies, taking their tootsies and cutting them off. I didn't catch the gist of it, but I mean, you got yourself a lucky rabbit's foot. Wouldn't it be something to have yourself a lucky person foot? You know what I'm saying, man? Taxidermy of a foot. Oh, I just don't think I could deal with that one, Jonesy. That's some rough and tough and tumble type of attitude to have. Anyway, Angry Floridaman here. You know, I'm a little rusty. I got to get back into the swing of things. You got to bear with me. Life comes at you fast. You get hit the head with a change up. You know what I mean? You got to change it up. Anyway, hey, like I said, lucky rabbit's foot, lucky person foot. Not so lucky to everybody. Anyway, we gotta go. Oh, there once was a man from Florida. His name was the Angry Floridaman, and that don't really rhyme, and I don't really give a damn. Oh man, how I know that now I know why I shan't sing. I shan't sing because I damn near shan't my pants right there. You know what I mean? If you shan't the way I just been singing, you shan't do it. And what does this make? Oh golly. Now you asked me to call in, man. I'm just gonna pepper you with them. I know. I should have listened a little closer this week, but I just think maybe I just get my toe wet today. You know, I mean, I just pepper you with a bunch of different recordings of me just babbling on, man. Because sometimes when you're sitting in a grocery store parking lot and you're talking to your good friend Jonesy on the talk box here, and it goes out to all the people all across the world because it's a weird AF news I call into, and I'm a weird AF person. I am an angry Floridian, and that's what the AF stands for, right? Angry Floridian man. Wow, I just put that together. Is that what that's about, Jonesy? Is that the word? Wow, and the world don't move to the beat of just one stroke. It will my do. Yay! I will not sing anymore, or less. Jonesy, keep them coming.